Why am I not extract? Hey, wait, I'm not extracting. Ah. I walked past the extract. Right, before we were so rudely killed by some motherfuckers, we were talking about drugs.
True, we were talking about drugs. So,
and I
one
was...
of the... Oh no! Don't go into the water! Oh, it stopped rolling. Sorry.
What happened?
It started jumping
away?
down the wall.
Oh,
It
no.
down the fucking hill.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't... speaking of drugs, my drug, as maybe your new drug as well, is bouldering. And I didn't actually bring my bouldering shoes to Lisbon. But I did look up before that they have bouldering gyms. Which is very pog. But it didn't go. But we took lots of pictures in Lisbon. And that was a very, very nice experience. People were very... nice about having their picture taken. Like, some guy went by me in one of these cute little trams and I yelled at him like, hey you with the cool sunglasses, can I take your picture? And the guy just like, you know, peace signs out the window and shit like that.
You're being toxic again, asking people for their pictures. You know that you're taking their souls away with that.
that's
with your
a
devil
harmful
device
stereotype.
that captures souls.
You're reinforcing a
Fucking
harmful stereotype again. Yeah, so that was very good. It was Lisbon was a very street photography welcoming city. I'm pretty sure we even have an action cam shot of some dude trying to sell me drugs there.
Yeah, I mean, if you're okay with like people just selling drugs down the street, they really can't complain about photos.
No, but I mean, I literally turned into one of the most annoying YouTubers. I'm not sure I talked about this, but I did like...
I think what that is just Southern Europe. They're just more open than like... The more the south you go in Europe, the more relaxed people than we are about stuff like this.
There's a rig in this hole.
You were saying you talked about.
I'm not sure I talked about it on the show yet. I was out in Copenhagen and took some street photography on the on the evening before Halloween, and people were dressed up and very cool with having their picture taken. And I did a small video about that on our photography YouTube channel. And that was super fun as well. People were also super positive, and some people even walked up and asked if I could take their picture and stuff.
You should say the name of that YouTube channel.
It's Gegenwind Photography. It's gonna be on the screen right now, everywhere, all over the place.
So an American would probably say Gegenwind.
Yeah, and it means headwind in English. I should say that as well. That is, in hindsight, that is not the least complicated name we could have chosen for a photography kind of thing in Denmark, you know.
No, it should be Gegenwindchiniraske.
So that was super fun, and so the way we kind of work when we're on vacation, right, is we go take a lot of pictures, and then we sit down and we have a coffee or we have something to eat. And when we do that, we kind of transfer some pictures from our cameras onto our phones, and then we retouch them, right? So you can just kind of like snapseed a bunch of things.
Providing Overwatch, but you just want me to do the staff. Okay, I got that. Yeah, okay, yeah.
And then you can post them as like Instagram stories and whatnot, you know, so people can kind of like see what you're doing and stuff like that, and you know, share your journey a little bit. And a while ago, I think when we were in Bremerhaven, I actually started posting some pictures to Mastodon as well. Yeah, out of nowhere, I got Mastodon notifications. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And it's of course because Elon fucking bought Twitter. And now there's like 1 million more Mastodon users. So everybody who searches for photography on Mastodon finds our account.
With other words, Mastodon has just like 10,000 times its user base from 250 people to 250,000 or whatever.
Yeah, and lots of servers have of course fallen over or are, you know, not very responsive and stuff like that because
I remember using Mastodon. When I was using it, so people do find you now.
Yeah, people. I mean, you just have to if you're on the main server or something that's closely connected to the main or the biggest server, and you type in photography, our account comes up actually.
Well, I can tell you that when I was using the Fediverse, hashtag the Fediverse, I was making hashtag sign. It took me 3 attempts.
How did that take you 3 attempts? That's
hashtag. I don't know. Anyway, the search was fucking broken. Oh, this reminds me. My I don't know. Katie's brother would be like my brother-in-law. Yeah,
Yep,
my
yep.
brother-in-law told me about, like, he works in a restaurant. He had like a young trainee guy, apprentice dude.
Yep.
And he was they're in a hotel, right? And then he was like, okay, yeah, so you call reception and tell them this,
Yep.
right? And the guy goes, now, how do I call reception? You press the hash key. So in German, that is
Yep.
Raute.
Yeah.
Right? You press the he's like, he looks at him like as if he just like descended from Mars. Like,
What?
as
Why?
if Elon Musk just walked in the room. It's like, what are you talking about? This, you press this button. Oh, the hashtag key. By the way, that is probably the biggest influence Twitter had on our society as a whole.
The
They did
name for that
introduce
character.
the hashtag. No, they introduced the concept of a hashtag.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even Twitter. That was just Twitter users came up with that. That wasn't even a feature in the beginning.
Yeah.
See, when I was young,
When I
when we started on,
Twitter.
I was on Twitter when hashtags weren't even implemented. Yeah, they were just the second. It was like those Twitch emojis,
Yeah.
you know, that you need a 2-second party like plugin for. Basically, that's
So many people have told like horrifying stories of like so many engineers at Twitter have come forward with like horrifying stories of like how shit used to work and how shit used to be broken. Like all of the people they fired, they then could talk a little bit out of the Nähkästchen,
Well,
as you would say in German. You know?
Twitter being shit. no shit.
And I mean, I remember like lots of fail whales and stuff like that as well, right?
Yeah, I mean,
But anyways, so we got a lot of new followers on Mastodon or on ActivityPub, the Fediverse, whatever you want to call it, right? And actually some nice people and some nice conversations, which of course isn't, you know, I mean, I think that's just because people are excited about a new thing and they want to make friends and see what's up and stuff, right?
I'm
but that was-
extremely jaded about this whole topic.
I mean, I think so. It was like a nice experience to have like a bunch of people go like, "Hey, who's this then?" You know, stuff like that. And
I
to
feel
actually
like I have
write
to-
comments instead of just going like, "Oh, like, swipe, whatever."
Yeah,
you
but
know?
that's just because it's a very niche. It's like not normal people.
exactly,
It's nerds.
exactly, right?
It's like Twitter back in the day when there were only nerds on there.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like Twitter is worse now. It's just as soon as normal people get on there, you know, it just goes to shit. That happens with everything. No,
Yeah, but
I'm
I mean,
completely.
yeah.
I feel like I have to explain that why I'm so jaded about this, and this
Right.
is not because I'm a boomer and an old man. In this
So you
case,
say.
really, it isn't. No, in this case, really, it isn't. But I had this whole enthusiasm for this whole like Fediverse before it was called Fediverse.
Right.
Back when Identica was a thing, which was the exact same thing. And we had all these hopes. Back in the day, there was like, you remember those fail whales? And there
Yep,
was a
yep.
time when Twitter was like really bad, and then everybody was like, Twitter basically doesn't work because they couldn't scale with their user base, right? People, they were getting mentioned on TV, and then like they couldn't, like the platform wouldn't scale with
Yeah.
all the people signing up. And we were like, oh, this is the time of the distributed network, and I had all those hopes, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
those hopes got burned to the ground in, I don't know when that was, 2008 maybe.
But you, 2008, right? Okay.
Well, so I was
Sorry,
I
please
was
carry
on
on.
Jaiku before I was on Twitter actually.
Yeah.
I'm like so nerd. I'm such a hipster. I was like I people forced me to be on Twitter. I really like Jaiku,
Yeah.
and then Jaiku got fucked by Google, who bought it and killed it.
Of course.
And then I went to Twitter, and then Google Plus was the thing. And actually, Google Plus was I was at the time I was on the recommended, like they had this curated recommended list.
Oh god,
I had, like,
Google
15
recommended you? What the fuck?
Yes,
Did
yes,
the
yes,
people
yes.
think?
They thought I was a wholesome open source guy back then. I mean,
He has
the
a Linux
internet-
podcast. It's probably fine to feature.
I mean, you know, that I once met Chris de Bonner from Google Open Source, and you know, they were really nice. And
Yeah.
the internet was a different place back then. Anyway, I had like 15,000 followers on Google Plus, like a lot.
Yeah.
And I really liked it, and I was like, okay, so this is the future. And then Google fucking, you know,
Yeah.
came up with Hangouts and fucking lost their focus, and then they fucking killed Google Plus.
Yeah. I read a very interesting article how people don't get rewarded for keeping stuff running, but just for launching stuff at Google, which was really jarring to read, like given the history of.
That explains a lot. Have you ever been to this website, the Google Graveyard?
Yeah. Very funny.
It's so educational. Google Reader, man. I can't forgive them for Google Reader.
This camp up here. Okay. Yeah, Google Reader was good. Let's not walk through that for me.
Okay, let's not do that then. Anyway, so I have no hope left. I just can't cope. I have no copium left on this topic. I'm just like, it is what it is, and I don't like Twitter. Like the thing is, everybody complaining. So I'm, me maybe a little bit. I'm like a. When people tell me to do something, the more they tell me to do it, the less
say that you don't like complaining. That doesn't sound like you at all. Sorry, please carry on.
Maybe that was wrong here. I don't know. but like, what? Like,
you don't like it when other people complain. That's what you want to say.
No, that's okay. I'm okay with other people complaining as well. No, that's okay. Maybe I got nothing with complaining. But like my problem is when people tell me to do something, the more and more people tell me to do something, the less likely it is I'll actually do it.
Yeah.
And well.
Fire the flare.
Oh, I fucking hated Elon. I have it hotkeyed, by the way.
Wow. What?
Yeah. I fucking hated Elon Musk with a passion. I've hated him before it was cool, so to speak, for a very long time. And the fact that everybody is now complaining about Elon Musk makes me almost want to like him now.
Oh, yeah.
It's like now he's the underdog, even though he's like the fucking richest man in the world. He's a fucking asshole.
The emerald mine billionaire son underdog. Yes, it is the common protagonist of any story.
Yes, but he did move to Texas now, and I kind of like, he's like, I don't know. He is in society right now. In a weird way, he is the underdog because everybody fucking hates him.
I mean, I think that's
he's
more
probably
like
more hated than Vladimir Putin right now.
I mean, I think for a lot of people that's like the common people rising up against power. But
no, I think I don't blame the common people at all. The problem is I blame Silicon Valley and especially my colleagues like Silicon Valley tech journalists.
Yeah.
Because they've hyped this guy up who's been an asshole from the very start. Obviously an asshole, obviously overrated, never a genius, and they were telling everybody for years that he's a genius with no basis in reality.
Yeah.
And now they're like, oh, he's an asshole.
Wait a minute.
What, you woke up to this now? The Verge? Fuck you, The Verge. Fuck The Verge. Anyway, we're getting delisted on YouTube again.
Oh, yeah.
Where's this plane coming? Is this plane coming?
Is he the dirty fucker?
he is one of the dirty fuckers. Although, like some of the ideas he has for Twitter, I actually like as well. Like so I think that their checkmark idea was really dumb because they're not using it to verify people. They're taking it away to punish people. So it needs to be reformed, right? So that's a good idea. But the way he went about it, so that anybody can just buy a checkmark and then rename themselves to Nintendo of America.
That is so dumb. Because they didn't make up a new icon. They would just like let people buy for $8 what used to be reserved for government agencies and like whoever we can verify as somebody we consider popular, right? Which is kind of a shitty take, right? It's not like we verify that this is the person they say they are. If you have like 500 John Smiths, they don't all get a checkmark if they send us a picture of their passport. But the John Smith that's been in all the Matrix movies, sorry, bad example, he wasn't in the Matrix movies. But that's kind of their
Agent Smith.
Yeah. Look, not my point. It's like then they go like that guy gets the checkmark, and I'm like, that's a bit of a popularity contest. We have that anyways. Just look at the fucking follower account.
And the problem being that if John Smith then turns out to be a Republican and really likes guns and really opposes Twitter's stance on this, then they take the checkmark away. That's even more problematic.
Well, I'm not sure that's exactly what happens or what the principle of this is, but
no, but it happened a lot of times.
But
a lot of times in some high-profile cases, and I'm pretty sure they have to be high-profile cases because you only get
otherwise you don't hear about it. Where did does that plane ever arrive?
What the fuck happened to me?
Did you
jumping over
shoot it
this?
too low? Did you fire it straight up? I didn't pay attention.
I fired it straight up. Can you shoot it too low?
Yeah, I think so.
Did I fire this wrong?
Did you fuck up the flare? I don't know.
I don't know. I was so happy I had it hotkeyed. I shot it right up into the tree.
Let's give it a minute. Give it a hot minute.
What's this? Nikita, fix your fucking plane. No, but like, so I think reforming that was a really good idea. But I also like, I understand why he fucked that up, because Elon is like a nerd, right? He is a nerd. So he doesn't understand common people, and he's like me, right? So he thinks in a way. I'm not rich, but like he probably thought the same thing I did. It's like if at John Smith 123 renames their account to Nintendo of America and uses Nintendo's profile picture and has a check mark, you don't go, oh, Nintendo just said they're gonna launch a new Mario game, because it literally says Nintendo of America at John Smith 123.
Yeah, but
like,
anybody can register those profile names, right? So that's
yeah,
one
but
of the
Nintendo
things.
is taken. At Nintendo is taken.
At Nintendo was taken, you know. Or if you, I mean, people are really smooth about this. Like, would you think that somebody called real Donald Trump would be the president account or whatever?
I mean,
you know?
yes,
that's
there
just
are
fucking dumb.
There are edge
the
cases,
problem,
but like
the problem with
the cases
Twitter
where
is
people
that you
were
have,
saying
like,
it's
what the fuck? The problem I think with Twitter is that you have this one user base that follows the same web application bullshit that everybody follows, right? You have like unique user handles and stuff like that. So you have like no way of self-verifying in a way, like a domain name.
You say, yes, you are right, but in the cases where people were complaining, where they said, okay, it's LeBron James saying, I want to get traded,
right?
The ad name was literally at Johnny S. Fucker 59. Or it's probably 69, right? Yeah. I mean, that is, you don't fall for that unless you're a real idiot. And Elon was probably, because Elon is also an idiot. Elon was like, nobody's gonna fall for this. Yeah, this plane's not coming. I got robbed. I got fucking robbed.
Was that a landmine, sir? I heard some sort of...
I don't know. Why am I out of breath again? Anyway, yes. So anyway, he went about everything wrong, of course, and some of it is hilarious, though, right?
I mean, it has great entertainment value. Don't get me wrong.
So I'm sitting in Germany, and our economy is fucked, right? And I actually have people who don't have a job right now, and they're looking for jobs, and it's not nice, right?
Yeah.
And then I read like on The Verge that like all those Silicon Valley fucking programmers are outraged because Elon said from tomorrow you have to come to the office, and like, oh, this is illegal, we were promised like to work from. I mean, I get that. I would be annoyed about this too, but in the grand scheme of things, really, you know, I mean you have to go to the office. Boo.
No, I think that's I mean, you know, of course that's like they make so much above the average salary that, you know, it's of course like crying on a higher level in a way, but it's also like, you know, if it's fucking irrelevant, it's just a scheme to get people to quit, right? If you're gonna lay off people, you're gonna have some lawsuits, and you're gonna basically pay them whatever weeks extra and you know, severance and whatever, and you don't have that if they quit, right? If people quit, if you can bully people into quitting, that is always advantageous for you as an employer.
Dude,
so
yeah, I mean,
I'm just saying, I think that is a very, very conscious way of getting people to leave. Take away all previous promises and privileges, and I think that's a dick move. So I totally understand that people complain about that.
I mean, yeah, it's a dick move, but like, you know, my dad used to run companies, and there was situations when he like inherited some employees that were not working at all, and he was trying to get them to quit.
Yeah, but that's not the case, right? It's like, shit, I took a huge...
Let me finish my fucking
Please
point.
Go ahead.
And he would like laugh if I told him this. He would like laugh his fucking ass off if he'd said like, you know, if I just, you know, if everybody worked from home, and then I said, okay, now you have to turn up. You actually have to turn up to work, right? And they quit because of that. He would be like, what? You know what I used to have to do to people to fucking make them quit, basically. I'm not saying my dad was a bad person, but employment laws in Germany are so very different. They protect the employee a lot more.
Yeah. A lot more than in Denmark as well, by the way.
But I'm saying, like, what I'm just thinking is like, these people, like not the people, not the devs, the people writing these articles, right? These tech journalists, they are so disconnected from the problems that real people have in reality, right? That they write a headline and go,
okay.
oh my god, the worst thing ever happened at Twitter. People now have to go to their job.
Look,
like they have to actually go to the office.
Lots of journalists write bullshit stories, but we can talk about that literally every episode, and that's nothing new, right? So the thing that I get people are upset about, that it's this complete anti-worker thing that's going on. Right, and I sympathize with that.
I do sympathize with that as well, but that is not new under Elon at Twitter. I mean, first of all, that's a Silicon Valley thing, and if that's been the case, Twitter has been a shitty workplace ever since Twitter existed.
Lots of places are shitty workplaces, right? But some people make them significantly shittier, and like this, turning up at work. I think the people who got now it's coming. What the fuck? Coming. I'm going.
Where is it?
Fucking
Where is it?
I don't know.
Where is it?
It's probably going back to. Why is it coming now? Right. So I'm just.
Watch for the mines. Watch for.
It's like fucking bullshit that people go like, oh, you need to show up at the office. If it's like, is it about doing the work or is it about seeming like you do the work? If you get measured in attendance or in output, and I think that's all like very, very backwards. And I know that's the norm in a lot of German companies, right? Germany didn't know what to do when lockdowns
By the way, I can just saying I can barely hear you.
Level your fucking aim audio. What is it with you? Sorry.
Now I can hear you.
There we go.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't say anything earlier. I don't know where the crate's going now.
I see it.
That's why Germany suffered significantly more, I think, during the lockdowns, because employers were like, but how are we going to check in on our employees and shit like that? Because they have no idea how to motivate people to work towards like a common goal and to have employees that feel welcome in a company and to actually work for, like a common accepted goal. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean.
Like if you're an employee and you're
I'm
right.
I know what you're saying, but I'm stuck at Germany suffered significantly more than what?
For example, Denmark or other Nordic.
You can't compare fucking Germany to Denmark.
Yes, I can. Shut the fuck up. Why the fuck not? If it's not important where you are, if you compare office jobs between Denmark and Germany, where's the difference?
What are you comparing? What are you comparing? A job or the average?
Office job.
Because the
office job.
Yeah, like what kind of office job?
The one where you don't need to be in physical attendance to get your shit done. Like not the one where you're at an office and people come into the office and they say hello.
No. What are you comparing? What jobs are you comparing? If you're comparing like working at Microsoft in Germany and working at Microsoft in Denmark, you can compare that.
Yeah.
But you can't compare a general German company to a general Danish company, because there are German companies who make as much money as the fucking Danish economy. So that would be a very unfair comparison if you go by like economic output, because Denmark would lose that.
Okay, if you take a random accounting firm, for example, non-brand, white label, whatever, could be anything. Could be like Peter Pimmel's Bude in Germany and Persson Pix place in Denmark, which is Pickus. It means penis as well, by the way.
I was kidding.
Where is the fucking difference between those two shops? Except one of them goes like,
What's a war mage?
That's a low penetration ammo. So I would take the Razer HD Gen 2. They're expensive. They're good.
Okay.
Good scopes. Good scope. Good. Then some
I
M80
put that
ammo.
in my. I wanted to put that in my ass because I thought that was a key card that looked like a key card.
Double Ketters and OFZ. Key card. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Anyway, you were talking about Peter Pimmel's.
Yeah. I'll just take the rest. I'll just take whatever you can carry and keep Overwatch until then. So I'm just saying, if you have like a random office job thing, I think people were struggling more in a random German place, because it's like a situation they're not used to, right? They're suddenly like confronted with, oh my god, how are we gonna, do all of these things? They usually are printed out and somebody hands them over to the person or some shit like that,
No, I would say that depends very much on the company.
It depends a lot, sure.
There are a lot of companies in Germany that aren't like this, and I think generally you have that problem everywhere. Bosses, the management in the company really doesn't do anything, doesn't do a lot for the productivity of the company, right? The most they do is control the employees, and they kind of, I think I'm looted up. There's only shit in there left, I think. And that's kind of what bosses do, right? Control their employees, and yes, that's why they want them to be in the company. And also Germany is like, I'm not one who to sympathize with bosses. I fucking hate companies. That's why I never will work for one anymore if I can't help it. And I hate fucking people who are managers. Oh god, I need to drink or eat. I'm gonna figure that out.
Wait, I have some juice for you.
I got some rat cola. Some nice person gave me, but first I'm
also a little raven.
But like, so thank you. So there's a specific problem in Germany where employers, and if you're an employer, you're gonna find this amazing if you never heard about this, are not allowed to measure how much like the performance of their employees.
Yeah, you told me about that recently. I was like,
they're literally not allowed to do that,
yeah.
Which is idiotic. But like, I mean, yes, I would say generally Germany is a conservative country. I would probably agree with you that this kind of flexible work thing is probably worse in Germany than in other countries. But I would say that all countries and all companies have issues with this because generally employers don't trust their employees.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It really depends. I've worked in like very, very different places, but a lot of them were like, maybe it's also because it's kind of like a buyer's market for
I'm kind of out of breath.
Wait, let me.
Very heavy.
Sorry, let me help you out with that. First slot in this backpack will help you. There are drugs in there. They are very good. So, I think I've worked for different companies, but usually it's like a seller's market for developers and stuff like that, right? So people usually are like, oh shit, gotta keep that guy because otherwise we're fucked and stuff like that, right? So.
But I think you also work in an industry, and I work in an industry. Funnily, I've never had this experience because I work in an industry where that shouldn't be an issue, but for some reason it was at the company I was working. That way, shit. Wait,
just use it. Right-click, use it.
No, okay. Oh, that works from your. Oh, yeah, of course it does. I'm sorry. There you go. Thank you. Yeah. So, but I'm thinking here about like people I know, and I've actually also written about this.
Lots of people have it a lot worse. Like, I'm not saying.
I'm saying like let's say like random insurance company, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll be a bit more of a problem. Doesn't matter if the insurance company's in Denmark, in the UK, or in Germany. I can't talk about the US because the employment laws there are very different. But like I think, those are generally people that if you leave them up to their own devices and you not really control what they're doing, it's more likely that they will do absolutely nothing than in like a web development job or like a journalism job.
I've never been in a job like that because you always have a deliverable, right? You always have like a thing you do, and it's like you have a thing, and at the end of the day or at the end of a sprint or at the end of a month, it's no longer supposed to be that thing. It's supposed to be something else.
Yeah, But have you ever talked to somebody who works like in middle management in a really big company?
Well, yes.
There's literally companies. I mean, this sounds like a joke, but I know people and like some of my friends. Like these are companies where basically they have departments that are just managing other departments.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've literally talked to these people. I'm like,
what is your job? Company. That's not exactly like.
No, but it's like, what is your job? And it's not a broken company because they all make money. Like shit, they make more money than you and your company. They make tons of money. But I'm like, what's your job? And he's like, I manage these people. And I'm like, what do they do? Well, they manage these people. What do? They manage these people. I'm like, couldn't
Dude,
you
That's like
there's
being a
3 chains?
controller, you know, where they invite you to a company
exactly.
and you point out
Yeah,
the
yeah.
inefficient shit they do, and then you make
Yeah,
like
it is.
what one of their employees makes in a year in like 2 weeks, you know, for optimizing
I'm like, there's
shit.
literally 3 levels of management. And then, okay, then I give you another example, which I find hilarious. I wrote a column about this recently. So I was at a wedding, and I met some people I hadn't met in a while.
Right.
And I have a friend who works. I'm not gonna say where he works, but he's like at a company that is kind of like, you know, Ausgründung, like a spin-out from like
spin-off.
from the university,
Right,
right?
yeah.
You have people at the university do something, and they found a company, kind of like a startup, but I don't think it was a startup, and they
Yeah.
do like tech shit,
Right.
like really high level tech shit, and he actually had a health problem,
Right.
and he couldn't like really come to the office, but he had to go to the office, so you get a kick out of this. So he wrote a bot, basically a collection of scripts,
Yeah.
a collection of software that completely replaced him.
Ah, perfect.
He didn't work for about half a year
Yeah.
at all.
Ideal.
He just had to go to the office like 2 or 3 times
Yeah.
because something happened where he had to actually like he does like computer shit.
Physically
He like
appear.
manages.
Dude, that's
servers
like the
and
story
shit.
where the guy worked at both Facebook and Google at the same time.
Yeah. He didn't even have to like physically appear. He was like on a call once a week, right?
Yeah.
With like a video call, whatever. No, he had to fucking like he couldn't remote into a system, right? He had to actually
Right.
go there to put something on like probably SSH key or something. So
Yeah.
he could like remote in like 3 times in like half a year, and he's really nice. Like he did that because he had like fucking health problems and he
Yeah.
didn't want to lose his job.
Yep.
But he could have, if he was a bit more crafty and probably American, he would have just applied for another job. I don't think you can do that in Germany. I think because I mean the
Yeah, you have clauses for primary employment and source of income.
I mean
and
not
stuff.
even that. Of course, it's illegal, but like it probably would be that in the US. No, because of the social healthcare system, because both employers would have to pay that, and then the financial, the IRS basically would go, why do you have 2 jobs? Because you're paying your like social healthcare like pension thing twice, right?
Yeah.
And because that's a law. Where are you?
So Scap, but I don't know where.
Right side
Like,
of the.
right
I
side
see you. I
of
see
the-
you. Sir. Right behind you. Sorry, I'm just slow.
Sorry, yeah,
Even with
that good on that guy. I hope he's doing well.
Cracked me up though.
You know, and doing better with his health issue and stuff.
Oh
That's
yeah,
not
yeah.
really
he's
what I
like,
wanted.
He's over it,
Yeah.
and he's working normally again. But it's like,
Nice.
I mean, but that tells you how nice a guy he is. Because I would probably go like, oh, I've just replaced myself with the bot. I
Yeah.
would indefinitely play New World instead of working.
That would be so unsatisfying for me. But maybe that's also because I've gotten so lucky and I actually get to do like really fun stuff at work. Or a lot of the
Sorry.
times I get to do really fun stuff, right?
Unsatisfying because you wouldn't work, or because New World is shit.
Yeah, both probably. I mean, I think I would be unsatisfied by New World in general. I think I could probably play that for like a weekend or 2, and like rush through some dungeons and like really dive into it, and then I'd be like, nah, MMO, it's just like the other ones. But
You got completely off MMOs. You have to explain that to me in one
Yeah.
of these
I
situations.
also was
here.
off Tarkov for weeks now. This is the first time I'm really playing it.
Well, me too, but
That's
Yeah.
the same. That's you every time.
no, actually, I used to play Tarkov a lot. It's just like I'm not excited.
Yeah.
I like the game, but like there's nothing like new that kind of gets
Yeah,
me into
yeah.
it. Like the new maps didn't really do it for me, and they keep just teasing shit that they're not delivering, and I'm like. And now they're making YouTube series, and I'm like, this is like Chris Roberts.
But I
Like,
mean,
Nikita's gonna start
I mean-
making movies next.
they're doing. It's like a different department, and you have them on payroll. I guess I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, so lots of people liked stuff on Mastodon and stuff like that, right? And I was like, and Halifa jokingly asked me like, "Oh, when are you gonna be your own Mastodon admin? When are you opening your own instance?" I'm like, "I'm not opening my own instance. I don't
She's
have
not
like a
joking. She just knows you. That's gonna happen.
Look, I was like, I don't have like a community. Like, what am I gonna be the home to? Like,
Can
who's gonna
I-
sign up at fediverse.jonathanmh.com, right? That would have to be like a single user instance. So I was like,
Probably
I'm
me.
not doing that.
Probably me.
Wait.
Can
wait,
you?
Wait.
Is there a way?
No.
Is there a way to place bets on this?
No. Wait. Hold on. It gets better. So I was like, I'm not doing that. That's stupid. I'm not doing that. Right. And then I was like, oh, but what about? Then I looked at the, they have like lists for the different instances and their purpose and stuff like that, right? And I was like, there's like very limited stuff for gaming, and half of them are offline, and there's nothing for streamers. So Halifa now is the admin of streamers.social, which is a Mastodon server.
Shit, I was gonna bet like on an internal, I'm gonna say marriage
timer,
but
yeah.
like no, on a betting pool, you against Halifa. Oh, I'm out of energy again. Can I eat some chocolate? Does that give me energy?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, let's do that.
So yeah, so Halifa is now the Mastodon Fediverse admin of streamers.social, and all streamers and fans of streamers and everything are welcome. And Halifa,
okay, I'm gonna sign up to that right when we're done with this.
Yeah, don't post any like offensive shit. It's in it has a code of conduct and stuff. It has all the fluffy social things. It's one of those. So.
Are we extracting? I
think so.
I can barely see. I have like withdrawals.
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay, let's get out of here before you die. You probably have a ton of loot and stuff, right?
Yeah, with backpacks. So I'm not sure it's worth anything. Okay, I'll read the terms of service. Although
no, you'll follow the terms of service.
Probably be fun to get banned, because Halifa threatens to ban me off her channel all the time. Never really done it. It's kind of like an inside joke.
Shouldn't have said this. I shouldn't have brought any.
Come on, every Mastodon server needs a troublemaker. I'm gonna be the designated.
Dude, we're gonna have lots of them.
Streamers.social, everybody. See you next time.